allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, if we could start off with our introduction of commissioners and staff.
Vito Chiesa, Stanislaus County.
Richard O'Brien, city member.
Terry Withrow, Stanislaus County.
Javier Lopez, city member.
Javier Camarena, Assistant Executive Officer.
Sarah Lytle-Penny, Executive Officer.
Rob Terrell, LAFCO Council.
Jennifer Vieira, Commission Clerk.
Okay, very good. Thank you, guys. Good to see everybody. Okay, we're going to start off with public comment. I do have one speaker card here, but there can be more, and I see more coming. Okay, so we're going to start off with Dan Whetstone. Dan, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm just fine. How about you?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm here to speak against the Riverwalk project. You know, it's 1,500 acres or so, several miles from riverbank. Why do we want to build 3,300 homes so far from the city? You know, let's wait till the city grows out to that point. You know, I just because some landowner wants to make a lot of money, let's just use some reason and things. Just, you know, imagine down the road for future generations, you know, what developing out there so fast might mean. So please look that over carefully. Hopefully you would deny that project. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Okay, next up we have Jamie Agers. Jamie, good evening. How are you?
Hi, good to see you. It's been a while. You've been in recess. Jamie Yeager, 7730 McHenry Avenue, Modesto, California. I'm also here to speak on the Riverwalk proposed project. Our understanding from the City of Riverbank is that the draft EIR will be out anytime soon. So we're very close to potentially that project coming before you. As Mr. Whetstone mentioned, this is about a 1,500-acre project, and the majority of it is in agricultural land that is currently part of the state of California's farmland mapping program. About 90% of it is in that area, and the majority of that is in the category of prime ag land, which is the highest category. So our position is that homes should be built on soils of lesser quality and not in a floodplain. All of the acreage down there is in either the 100 or the 200-year floodplain. So it is really not the place to pave over. It's beautiful property. If you've not seen it, we'd love to invite you to our home, because words can't really describe what the eyes can see. It's property that goes literally as far as you can see. It was in Walnuts for the first probably 30 years that we lived there. We've owned the property almost 40. We've lived there 35, and the last few years it's been in watermelons, pumpkins, and most recently corn that was just harvested. And the ground right now is all tilled up again and ready to go for the next crop. And so when this project comes before you, which we assume it will, we urge you to vote no. Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. And now, the better half, Mr. Agers, or you're coming after the better half. I should have said after the better half.
I would debate that with you. I think I'm the worse half. Barney Agers. I live with my wife at 7730 McHenry Avenue. I oppose the Riverwalk proposed project. For all the reasons she just exposed or spoke of, two things. About a month, maybe 6 weeks ago, I turned on our water to wash my hands, and no water. And our 35-year-old well didn't produce any water. So, of course, I called the pump company, and they came out and said, oh, you know, your water level has dropped. And it has dropped 4 feet in 2 years. We've had our well regularly monitored, and that's one issue, because this proposed project as I've read, says we're going to pull 2 million gallons of water out of the aquifer, and I don't know what the time frame is. I don't know if that's a day, a week, every 2 days, well, whatever. But it will have a huge impact on our aquifer, according to the people that test my well. Number 2 concern is, this is a riverway, and I look almost every night on the news in Sacramento, all the encampments of homeless people that live along the Sacramento River. Well, look at the Stanislaus River. That is prime ground for encampments and fires. It was about 8 or 9 years ago that there was a fire that started west of McHenry and burned eastward toward Riverbank on that whole. They had a heck of a time putting it out. Anyway, I'm just stating, let's look forward. Let's be smart about how and where we develop future neighborhoods. This is in a floodplain, and it doesn't come over the levee. When the river rises, and it will do that in the near future, hopefully, it comes underneath, it seeps. I wouldn't want to be owning a home in that area when that happens. Anyway, hopefully, the folks that review the draft EIR will dig deep and make wise decisions. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Barney. Okay. All right, any other public comment for which I don't have cards? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to correspondence.
There's no additional correspondence other than what's noted on your agenda.
Very good, thank you. We'll move on now to declaration of conflicts and disqualifications.
None.
Sounds like we have none. Very good, we'll move on to our consent calendar. Anybody would like to pull anything from consent? Anybody from the audience? Seeing none, look for a motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. We'll move on to item 6, public hearing, out-of-boundary service application, Rouse, Colorado, City of Modesto, sewer service. Javier, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
We have a pretty brief presentation here. My name is Javier Camarena. I'm with LAFCO. The item that we are discussing this evening is an out-of-boundary service application from the City of Modesto to provide sewer service to the Rouse, Colorado neighborhood. As I mentioned, the application is for sewer service to an area that's unincorporated. It's in West Modesto. As you can see on the slide, it's located south of South Avenue, west of Sunset Avenue, north of Robertson Road, and east of Sutter Avenue. It's right there near John Thurman Field and the golf course. The project is the second phase of the larger West Modesto sewer infrastructure project. You may recall, I think it was about a year ago, we brought the Spencer Marshall neighborhood up here north, closer to Mays Boulevard. That was the first phase. This is the second phase. After this phase, the third phase will be the last phase of the infrastructure project, which is the Beverly and Waverly neighborhood. It's over there west. You can see in this picture, it's in orange, closer to Carpenter Road. Staff believes that the project is consistent with Commission Policy 15 and state law. The discussion of these items can be found on pages 2 and 3 of the report. The Commission has approved similar area-wide extensions of sewer and/or water services in the past for specific unincorporated areas such as the one proposed. Staff recommendation can be found on pages 4 and 5 of the staff report, which recommends approval of the out-of-boundary service. Any additional extensions outside the proposed area would require additional LAFCO approval. Staff is available for questions.
Very good, thank you. Okay, any questions of staff?
These are exciting times here.
trying to get some of this done, and it's taken a long time, but these are the exciting out-of-boundary service agreements. And hopefully we can complete this with some other monies.
Very good. Any other comments, questions, concern? I agree with Supervisor Chiesa. This is good stuff that we're moving forward, and we hope to have more of these, so. Okay.
There hasn't been any discussion yet of annexation, correct?
Yes.
Correct, and the
Formal.
discussions are continuing
Okay.
with this and the other islands. And there'll be a board item next month that may
Very good. I'm
include
anxious
some more
to see that
information.
one.
Yeah.
Right, we have a lot coming forward here soon.
And there's the potential, and this is just talking, but Modesto actually got an earmark for $5 million to put into, has to be an unincorporated island. It's not for the city. And this is one of the areas they've identified. So that's why I think there's at least some hope that we do something.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, Javier.
All right, we will now open the public hearing. Anybody from the public like to comment and discuss this? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing, bring it back to the board for further comment or a motion.
I move that we accept item 6A.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passes unanimously, very good. Javier, thank you.
And Anna, thank you very much.
Anna, there's Anna
For
back there,
on
yes.
this also.
Thank you. Okay, no other business, commissioners' reports, commissioner comments?
I've been trying to get a map like that with the color of each one of those neighborhoods, because they put them up individually on a map, but it's very hard, except, and this is the best map I've seen. I don't know who did it. Thank you.
I can email you a copy.
I would love to have it.
Okay.
We can get your map to you.
It'd be great.
Okay, very good. No other commission, no comments, okay. Additional matters at the discretion of chairperson, nothing. Executive officers report, Sarah.
Yeah, I'll just note really quickly that after our last meeting, staff submitted all the reclassification paperwork to the county, and so now we'll be awaiting their response on that. For September, we do have a few items in the works. One, we're expecting another fire service contract for the commission's review. We'll have municipal service reviews for the Modesto Irrigation District and Turlock Irrigation District, and then also an informational report regarding the commission's ag policy. It's actually been, it will be 10 years since that policy's been adopted, so it'll be a little informational report on how it's gone.
Very good.
That's all.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Okay, we're going to have a closed session here regarding the annual performance evaluation for Sarah. And anything we need to say before we go into closed session, Rob?
We'll just announce that the commission has one item pursuant to Government Code Section 54957. Closed session will be held to consider the following item: public employee performance evaluation. Title is LAFCO Executive Officer. At this time, it'd be appropriate to invite public comment.
Okay, any public comment regarding closed session before we go into it? Seeing none, we will adjourn to closed session.
You hang out right there.